You there. Stop what you're doing. If you can see us, that means you're on YouTube. And if you're on YouTube, please subscribe. Please like. Please comment. If you can't see us, chances are you're on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. If that is the case, please leave us a review. Please leave us a rating. Please follow us there. Because we'd really like that. We'd really, really like that.
That's going to be one of the, I don't know, the coldest cold opens we've ever done, I reckon.
Coldest?
Cold. I mean, it's very serious.
Well, mate, have a look at the episode title. We're 30 now. We've got to be a bit more serious. We've got to grow up. And that's happened again. That was perfect timing. We've got to be serious. And it just falls apart. Mate, you look pretty good over there, mate.
Thanks, mate.
You look real fucking schmick.
You look very nice too, Mr. Longsleeve.
You know what? Feeling nice. Love a long sleeve. This is probably the best, my favourite long sleeve I've ever put on. We said last week we were going to be repping the Pell's new kit, and we finally got our hands on some.
Mm.
Should I reward the YouTube viewers here? Give them you might be able to see a little bit from there.
Bit of a close up.
I tell you what I'll do.
Yeah, close up. Oh, he's going to go. Look at him go. So for anyone that's listening on Spotify, or I'm just, I think I'm supposed to be commenting. I feel like I'm doing rewound and retold right now because I can't see. Luke is leaning into the camera to show off the Pell's kit right now. You can see bit of posing going on. Looks very nice. Are you going to wear the long sleeve a lot more than the short sleeve?
See, this is the thing, because you know when you watch cricket and stuff.
Mm.
Also, round of applause for me because I just nailed that just quietly.
Sorry, yeah.
Thank you.
No,
Guys, we hear you again. It's fine, honestly. Stuff. This is the thing, because I think I did it backwards when we played. Well, you didn't play last week. I think I did it a little backwards because I batted in my long sleeves.
Okay.
And then I fielded and bowled in my short sleeves. Now, I don't think as batsmen you really bat in long sleeves.
Mm.
But I'm not a spinner, so I don't bowl in long sleeves.
Is that a thing? Spinners bowl in long sleeves?
You're more likely to bowl in long sleeves as a spinner than you are as a medium or fast bowler, right?
I guess, yeah.
I just thought it'd be weird bowling in the long sleeve.
You should do it anyway. You love the long sleeve.
I do love the long sleeve,
like
right?
Footy season, like you froth it. So
You're right.
Definitely just
Shall I give it a crack next game?
Just do it and then bowl spin. If you
You're right, there you go. There's always a way around it.
Just bowl leggies, mate. You'll be fine.
Tell you what, we mentioned last episode that we weren't there for the first game in these.
Yes.
Unfortunately, the debut of the new uniform was a loss.
That's correct.
Whether it's because we weren't there, who knows? It probably wasn't. But we got a good win on the weekend without you. We rolled our I don't want to say villains and one of our rivals for the season.
Villains.
Victorian Vikings. We've mentioned we've had a couple of run-ins with them so far. We've played them again.
Yes. It's a small comp.
It is a very small comp. And we rolled them for 43. So
43?
43 we rolled them for, yeah.
Bowled first.
No, we batted first. We made 8 for 180 odd or something. Your boy with a handy 9 not out.
9 not out?
Well, technically it was 8 not out, but the book was 1 run out. So Elmo, nice me, he gave me the extra single, which I'll take.
Any fours off, any clips behind?
Nah. All quick singles and a quick 2 that wasn't a 2. So play the shot, quick single, misfield, turned into a 2.
Ah, nice.
No, it wasn't a misfield. It ricocheted off the stumps after we completed the single. So I'll fucking come back and have my fair share of these go against me. So absolutely, I'm taking this. But
nice.
We rolled him for 43. I think Jeffers took 4 for, but in the books it was 3 for. So I think Travie robbed him. Justice for Jeffers.
Absolutely.
So I voted for him twice for Pelican of the match.
Yes. I reckon
on my account and the podcast account.
I reckon Jeffers is had another chat from Chappelle, I reckon. Something's going on because he's stepped up his game.
He's underrated. He's underrated. He's a staple of the Pelicans bowling attack.
100%.
I mean, we could talk about that all day. Should we move on? Should we get into run it back?
Let's do it.
Okay, so plenty to talk about this week, mate. Did you want to kick us off with run it back?
I will, running it back. So I'll start with the Big Bash. So since we last spoke in the BBL, there were a couple of games.
Mm-hmm.
Firstly, the Strikers couldn't get it done against the Sixers as much as I wanted them to.
Well, we both did, yeah. We didn't want.
But it resulted in yet another Scorchers versus Sixers final. How many times is that now? I think it's at least 4 times now, 4 or 5 times that these two teams have met in the final. But obviously, Sixers having won 3 times. Now the Scorchers having won 4 times.
4 times, yeah.
Out of 11 seasons.
11.
It's actually ridiculous. But, we've heard the script before. Unfortunately, the game wasn't even close. Like, as an unbiased, viewer, you want a decent game at the very least.
Yeah, I'd argue that the final between the Strikers and the Sixers was probably worthy of being the final.
100%. Much, much more than the actual final. The standouts were Laurie Evans and Ashton Turner, who put together a pivotal partnership because they were at the very start. The Scorchers were collapsing very much so. So they put together a huge stand, got them to a respectable total, and the Sixers were, I guess the only way to put it was they just capitulated, all out for 92. So that was that. That was the BBL final.
Underwhelming, really, wasn't it? Underwhelming into a wild season. You think of all the hubs and stuff that happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, the drama throughout the season probably deserved a bit more of a dramatic ending, didn't it? But
yeah. But it is what it is. We don't write scripts or anything. We just watch what happens.
You're right. I'll keep it moving. The Women's Ashes or the Washes, as I still don't know if I came up with it. I don't think I did, as I said last week.
Have you heard anyone else call it that yet?
I might have seen it on Twitter. I'm not sure.
Okay.
So that's why I'm hesitant to claim it.
Yeah.
But I'm going to start off by saying we need more women's test matches. I don't think there's any fixture at the moment in place for a women's test match anywhere in the world.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Which I don't like.
100%. I was going through, occasionally go through cricket stats, and I was going through some of the greats. You look at like someone take Lisa Sthalekar, for example, Australian legend, and the number of tests that she played is probably about 10 throughout her entire career, and that's just
it's madness, isn't it?
It's crazy, and run us through the game, mate.
Well, mate, it was an absolute thriller. I mean, Meg Lanning, we know what a star she is. She made a hard 93. Rachel Haynes as well, 86 in Australia's first innings to get him to I think 9 for 335. Shout out to Catherine Brunt as well. Took 5 for England in the first innings. We love to see that. And then it was really Heather Knight.
Pretty much.
She showed Joe Root how to captain England and score a century in Australia.
I mean, like out of the what was her proportion of it? Was like I reckon it was like 50% or something. Right?
Well, England were rolled for 297 and she made 168 not out. So to say she carried the team is an understatement. But what I want to say is a shout out to Meg Lanning for she's captain, isn't she?
Yeah.
For making the game what it was. I mean, she kept things interesting by declaring it 7 for 216 or something to really make sure that any result was still possible.
Yeah, on day 4 with the test being a 4-day test. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't, as I said, all 3 results were still possible on day 4, but I don't think anyone really expected what happened next. Like, by the end of it, England made 9 for 245. Australia needed 1 wicket. England needed 12 runs. And I can't remember any test match, men or women, where both teams have been so close to a result and a result not happening.
Absolutely. It looked like it sort of, usually when it's sort of going down to the wire, it's the 9 wickets or whatever, and it's sort of, you think of, you know, classic games, and it's sort of like, oh, they're just a couple of runs away, that sort of thing. But it's like, you would think there would be, you know, it would just happen. Something would happen.
Yeah.
It
didn't.
In my mind, draws are always one team hanging on
For a draw, and the other
team being like pounding, like for the last session or whatever. This was like, no, both teams going for it. I think it was only the last over, or the last couple of overs, when England really shut up shop. I think they needed, I think the last over was from Alana King, and they blocked it out. But,
more women's test matches.
Absolutely. The Australian Cricket Awards happened.
It did, yeah. Do you want to quickly run us through that?
Yes, I will. It was weird. Like, I saw nothing through. Like, there was very little coverage or anything about it.
I just randomly saw it on Instagram one day.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, I better make note of that.
Pretty much. But for those of you that don't know, I'll quickly run through the winners. So, Mitch Starc won the Allan Border Medal.
Cop that, warning.
I think he said something like in his speech. He didn't directly diss him or anything, but he said something. I think he said something about the leg stump, the half volley on leg stump to open up the Ashes series. Something about that, which is cheeky.
I love it. Lefty's got to stick together.
Yeah. Yes. He also won ODI Player of the Year.
Cop that, warning.
Travis Head, well deservedly won the Test Player of the Year.
And when he was dropped.
Yeah, it's actually stupid, isn't it?
Yeah. I said it then. He shouldn't have been dropped.
Yeah, you're right. Absolutely. Imagine getting dropped and winning the Test Player in the same. It doesn't really make sense. Anyway, Mitch Marsh won the T20 Player of the Year with another
deservedly so. Yeah,
deservedly so. And then the Belinda Clark Award, Ash Gardner won it, becoming the first ever Indigenous woman to win the award. So,
amazing effort.
Beautiful. The other awards, Mitch Starc won the ODI Player of the Year, and his wife, Alyssa Healy, won the ODI Player of the Year for women, which was...
I love that. That's so good.
It's pretty cool, isn't it? Can you imagine that?
That'd be so sick.
Just going, just like family events and functions and stuff, and just like...
Both rocking up with the same award.
With the same... Beth Mooney won the T20 Player of the Year, and Zoe Cook won the Community Impact Award.
Congrats to all the award winners.
Absolutely.
I couldn't agree with them more, to be honest.
All very well deserved. And like, I'm happy that I can say that, because usually we're always like, oh, not sure, and then we try like make our own suggestions, and then we're like, nah, not really. And then we're always like, oh, we end up being like, it's such a hard thing to be a selector.
Wouldn't want to. Yeah,
wouldn't want.
That's exactly what we say.
But this is like, well done. You've done pretty well. So, yeah.
Is this where we revealed that we were on the selection panel for the awards?
Yes.
What
else has been happening, mate?
So, moving away from cricket, you might have seen, maybe, you guys might have seen as well, this little thing called the Australian Open.
Yes.
What a fantastic weekend to wrap up the Australian Open. As you'd all be aware, the Barty Party, Ash Barty won, breaking the drought for an Australian to win the Australian Open, right?
Yep.
Yeah, cool.
Very long drought.
I know my tennis. And then they were a wild card, weren't they? Kokonakis and Kyrgios, they won the doubles.
Yeah, not even wild card in terms of just like, they were actually a wild card into the Australian Open.
And I think they're the first wild card to win a doubles title, I think.
Is that...
I think so.
Wow.
I don't know tennis, so I could be wrong on that. But does that say more about the standard of doubles tennis than anything else?
I actually went to a doubles game. I went to the women's doubles final.
Paid good money for it, didn't you?
Paid real good money. I don't know if it's because we're not allowed to talk about COVID, are we? We're not.
Oh, you might have noticed we have mentioned it a couple of times.
Yeah.
The last couple of weeks.
Yeah. But because of that, I think the Australian Open, there's not as many people there. So I went with the family, got a ground pass, about $20, and just waltzed into the women's doubles final because there was pretty much no one there, so they just let anyone in. Felt bad for anyone that would have paid about, I don't know, $200-300 for a ticket, but
Sucks to suck.
I guess so. But the big, we are talking about Australian Open, the big finale on Sunday night.
What a story. Yeah, Rafael Nadal. I didn't watch the match. I forgot it was on. Checked the score. Saw that Medvedev was up 2 sets.
Yeah.
And he was in a good position in the 3rd set. So I'm like, I don't want to watch that. It's going to make me sad. But what a comeback it was. I mean, first ever tennis player to reach 21 Grand Slam titles, as has been all over the news. A bloody marathon final. Was it 5.5 hours there or thereabouts?
About that, yeah.
So I mean, he's one of the tennis goats, if not the goat. So well done, well deserved.
Absolutely. Just it was. I watched pretty much the whole thing. I was so invested, but it was so interesting. I reckon there was a point. So he lost the first 2 sets. He's down 3 break points in the 3rd set, and then
what the hell?
Yeah. To go from there, I think the WINVIZ, I don't know if there's a WINVIZ in tennis, but the WINVIZ equivalent said that Rafa had a 4% chance of winning the game at that point. I remember that.
Well, yes, that got us thinking, didn't it? The WINVIZ. That got us thinking about some comebacks where, if WINVIZ was a thing way back when and it came up on the screen, what kind of percentage they'd be at.
Yes.
And how wrong they'd turn out to be.
Absolutely. So we're going through, massive comebacks.
Massive comebacks that just say, Fook WINVIZ.
Pretty much.
Do you want to kick us off with the first one?
I will. So it would be remiss of me not to mention this immediately, I think. Australia versus India. Second test, 2000-2001 in Kolkata. It was... it's very much just etched into folklore now. But Australia made 445 all out in the first innings. Solid total. Usual suspects. I think Steve Waugh made 100. Haydos made a 90-odd. And then India were then cheaply bowled out for 171. And you've got a first innings lead of 274 for Australia.
In India.
In India. It's pretty rare that goes wrong. But it did.
Wow.
Wow. Look, from there, Australia then enforced the follow-on. And
pure arrogance.
This is what history tells us about the follow-on. And this is why so many teams are reluctant to do it now, because of history. Australia enforced the follow-on, and what happened next was ridiculous. India piled on 7 for 657.
How does that happen?
It's insane. Maybe it's just that, all right, you're going to make me follow on? All right, stick it up them.
You shouldn't need to do that though in professional cricket. You should just stick them up them as much as
Very
you can.
true.
Yeah.
Very true.
I get what you're saying though.
But largely thanks to a huge partnership between VVS Laxman and Rahul Dravid. VVS Laxman made 281, Dravid made 180, and they put on 376 runs together for the 5th wicket. Just nuts. Whenever I think of this, I think of if you make that many runs, 657, that's at least 2.5 days of batting. You'd think normally.
Yeah.
It's where is how does time work?
How do they find time to get a result?
Yes.
Yeah.
How does that, 5 days, okay, take it. Anyway, it's just me obsessing with time. Anyway, look, from then, Australia was set a target of 384 to win. And India rolled them for 212, largely thanks to a very crafty spinner by the name of Harbhajan Singh.
I do remember that bloke. Yes.
You do remember him?
Yeah.
He took a sixer in the second innings to back up 7 wickets in the first innings.
It's not bad.
Not a bad day out. But Laxman did end up winning man of the match because of, I mean, that really was the man of the match, sort of, that shifted the momentum, that
The turning point, really.
the turning point of the game. So, yeah, it's just ridiculous. The fact that you the first innings deficit of 270 odd, and then you end up winning the game by 171. That's insane.
Stupidity. It doesn't seem real.
But it's a comeback.
Comeback, it is.
Give me another comeback.
Well, I'd like to talk about a test match that occurred at Headingley, if that's all right.
Yes,
Surprise,
Headingley.
surprise.
Yes,
surprise.
Headingley.
Wait. It's not the Ben Stokes innings.
Oh, my goodness.
Dun, dun, dun. So we have mentioned Ben Stokes, obviously, a couple of times, which is why I'm not talking about that one. Let's talk about the third test in the 1981 Ashes.
Oh,
if I could.
Really running it back. I like it.
Now, the name Ben Stokes and Headingley, they kind of go hand in hand, and they're almost synonymous. But let me give you another name that should ring just as truly. Sir Ian Botham.
Oh,
I mean, he was a pretty handy cricketer back in the day.
he was.
Yeah, he went all right.
Beefy did, yes.
A little bit of something. So the third test, the Aussies batted first. A century from opener John Dyson and solid contributions from Kim Hughes and others. They declared at 9 for 401.
Mm-hmm.
That Ian Botham bloke I was talking about.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Went all right. 6 for the first inning.
That's all right.
He's a handy cricketer, that bloke.
That's
Yeah.
6 for. I'd take
him in the team at the moment. Yeah, same.
Yep.
England were then sent in and, crumbled. Shock horror to be all out for 174.
Yeah.
Out of those 174, Botham top scored with 50. So you can imagine how much worse it would have been if not for that fight that Beefy showed.
Yes. After taking 6 for in the first innings, yes.
Yeah. I mean, sore shoulders, as you do. But then, the classic happened. Something that's rarely used these days because of what history tells us, as you've mentioned. The Aussies enforce the follow-on.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Idiots.
Why would you do it?
Don't listen to him, Paddy. Don't enforce it.
Was he gonna? Wait, he was gonna in the Sydney test, wasn't he?
I think so.
There was something about the rain and something. Anyway, don't worry about it. Don't do it.
I forgot where I was.
Don't enforce the follow-on. That's where we were.
That's where we don't enforce the follow-on, or do. I can't remember where I stand on it. Now, anyway, sorry. It wasn't
we're not your supervisor. Just
an Archer reference. No community reference this week. So it wasn't an Eden Garden-style assault by any means. Only 2 people in the English side made it past 50. Luckily for England, though, one of them was Ian Botham. He goes all right.
Yeah.
I think he came in at 6 for 133 amidst yet another collapse, and he smashed an unbeaten 149 off 184 balls.
Jeez.
Just a casual 27 fours there, which, fun fact, I think is the amount that I've hit in my career.
Really?
I looked that up.
Check
that up.
Oh my goodness.
I'm actually going to,
Yeah,
I will do that.
27
That's intrigued me.
in one innings. And he made 140,
149. So what's 27 times 4?
80 plus 20, 108, I think.
100. Well, I'll take your word for it. So that guided England to a respectable 356. Now, the Aussies were still right on top. They only needed 130 odd to win. But Bob Willis, he had other ideas, mate. He bowled his absolute heart out. He took career best 8 for 43, dismantling the Aussies for 111.
Jeez.
So, yeah, Mr. Bob Willis, arguably bowled the best he had for his career, but I think that test belonged to Sir Ian Botham.
Yeah.
That momentum-changing innings.
Like we said,
that comeback.
Yeah, it's the point, the turning point of the game.
Turning point.
And without him, they wouldn't have restricted Australia, wouldn't have made enough, and wouldn't have restricted Australia.
Honestly, yeah, seriously. Yeah, it's madness. I mean, how much can one man do in one test match?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's worthy of a Fook WINVIZ.
Yes. That's the name of the episode.
We got it.
I'll quickly, I mean, we've fleshed out those ones in a bit of detail, but I'll quickly run through some some others.
Yeah, we got a couple of honourable mentions.
Honourable
I think
mentions,
we
I
can
guess.
kind of touch on. Yeah.
Australia versus South Africa, the Boxing Day Test 2006.
2006, 2008, 2006 would have been the Ashes, wouldn't it?
You're right. 2008.
Hmm.
Yes. What am I?
Blooper
on?
reel.
2008. And tell you what, this was the game that really put JP Duminy on the stage, and I think lots of Aussie fans will know this innings and remember it a lot. But also Dale Steyn
Yeah, I mean, he came out of nowhere with a bat, didn't he?
came out of absolutely nowhere with a bat. South Africa was struggling, and they put together a massive partnership. They put on 180 for the last wicket.
For the last wicket.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
So just incredible. Dale Steyn, career best, I think, batting. Well, he made 76. Duminy made 166, I think. And to be at a point where you pretty much it's all but gone, and then to put it all together. And here's another thing. I feel like I don't know much about the cricket laws of physics or whatnot, but I feel like there should be a correlation between bowlers batting well and then just them bound to do well with the ball as soon as they get the ball in their hands in the following innings, because he then took a fifer and ripped through the Aussies. So there you go.
Nice.
I don't want to go into too much detail. We're just running through them, but
We got time for one more quick one?
yeah,
You reckon?
Yeah.
So India, Sri Lanka, the first test in 2015. So Sri Lanka were reeling at 3 for 5 in their first innings, and then they were 5 for 95 in the second dig after giving up a 192 run lead in the first innings.
That's insane.
I mean, they're talking like an innings victory on the cards for what was a powerful Indian side.
Yeah.
And then it was Dinesh Chandimal who refused to lie down.
Yep.
He scored a magnificent 162.
Yep.
Setting India a classic, if not sort of tricky in-between score. It was like 170 odd, 176 I think it was.
Awkward. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and that proved to be enough as Rangana Harath ran riot on a fourth day pitch, taking 7 for, rolling India for 112. So
there you go.
Couldn't get the job done there. Could India?
Absolutely. Hey, look, I don't know if this is. We've run it back through a few. I don't know if this even counts as a get forward, but I had a bit of an idea for get forward.
I don't know where you're going with this.
Yeah,
this could be anything.
It's
brace yourselves.
It's
guys.
almost like I'm pitching the idea for what we should talk about for get forward while we're on air. That's almost what it sounds like.
Let's do it.
So
I'm excited.
We've run it back through some comebacks. For some reason, I feel like more often than not, pretty much all the time, the team that's bowling at the end of the game is the team that comes back and wins. Like it's always like in the fourth innings, someone takes like 6 for or 8 for or something, rolls another team, and it's not all the time, but I feel like more often than not, maybe it's just coincidental. But do you reckon there is any sort of, how teams more often than not we bat first, win the toss, bat first,
Yep.
which means you'll bowl last.
The Pels are no exception to that.
Yeah, exactly. Do you reckon there's any thought of that goes into it, or do you reckon I'm just talking nonsense?
I don't know.
It's just like I never thought about it beforehand, but I was doing research throughout the week about going through these comeback games. I'm like, in this game, someone took 6 for, 8 for, 5 for, 6 for in the fourth innings to roll a team.
So, are you asking like, do you reckon that when captains win the toss, they think about bowling last?
Yeah. Do you think that's that? Almost like, we're talking about, momentum and making a comeback. It's almost like it's easier, not easier, but you'd rather make a comeback with the ball than with the bat, like to finish off a game.
Yeah, yeah. I get. Yeah.
You can tell that I'm pitching this live on air because we haven't actually talked about it. And
No, we haven't.
Probably.
I mean, the first example that comes to mind for me is Michael Clark when there was that India series and he took three for on the last day.
Yes.
That was just, bowling with momentum to win the match.
Yeah.
Now, my thinking is, I can only really speak from a personal note here, I feel a fuck ton more pressure while batting than I do while bowling. And I think if you're there trying to build momentum on the cricket field and you've got all your teammates around you,
yes,
around these one or two blokes,
yes,
I know which side I'd rather be on.
Yeah, absolutely. You'd much rather be the side that's got 10 fielders right around the bat.
Chirping away
as opposed to being the one with 10 fielders right around you while you try block it out.
Mm-hmm.
So
maybe there is a bit of that. I don't know.
It goes into the toss.
Because there's a hell of a lot more pressure being that guy. In the middle of it all.
Maybe. I mean, it's always just done with that question, right? Just bat first. Like unless it's the pitch is that level of
just green. Yeah.
But yeah, that's I wouldn't call that a existential question, but it was a deep breakdown that we just did. Well,
it was almost a mini switch on for Get Forward, wasn't it?
Kind of.
I'm not mad at it.
Yeah. Although now we're gonna switch on. We're gonna actually switch on. So bit of a double up, but
that's all right. Let's do it. We're already halfway there, so let's fully switch on.
Let's do it. Switch on.
Alrighty, so I'll kick off switch on like I always do. Got a couple of questions for you, mate, but not really the usual questions that I ask.
Okay.
I don't really have any trivia ones for you this week, which is, as the listeners might know, is usually my forte.
Yes.
This kind of thing.
Yes.
This might be a tricky question, and I don't think there's a right answer to this.
Okay.
I say we put this to the viewers as well after you've had a crack.
Yep.
How do you build momentum?
Ooh.
It's obviously been the theme somewhat of this. It's probably been a sub-theme of this week.
Yeah.
So obviously there has to be some kind of momentum grab
to
turn the game on its head, as we saw with Rafa, as we saw with the test matches that we mentioned.
Absolutely.
How do you build momentum?
I feel like it comes down to, I think all sport comes down to just individual moments that spur other things on. I feel like in the AFL Grand Final last year when Caleb Daniel slung tackled Max Gawn onto the ground
and stood over
him, I feel like that was a moment, and that completely changed the momentum of the game. I think in the tennis the other night, there were a couple of moments where Medvedev was quite fiery at the crowd and Nadal, a few outbursts, and there was a break in play as well. I think with tennis, that's the thing. It's sort of, if you know momentum is not going your way, it's almost like you're praying for that. You want that break, that little timeout, the switch of ends. So I don't know about how do you build momentum. Like obviously wickets, in cricket, 1 wicket brings 2. It's got to start from somewhere. It's got to start from an individual moment. But I don't know how to answer it. All I can do is further unravel the question and flesh it out.
I wouldn't have expected anything else from you, mate, because it's a bastard of a question, and as I said, there's no real answer to it. I just wanted to hear what you think. So yeah, I agree with what you're saying. Yeah, like often you'll find with these kind of comebacks that we've mentioned, it's usually one or two individuals standing up.
Yeah,
it's kind of putting the onus on them, like I am getting us out of this hole.
Yeah,
just kind of grabbing it by the skin of the teeth and making it happen.
Absolutely,
I'll take that.
Open-ended. I like it.
Yeah, right. So let us know what you think. We'd love to hear your thoughts. How do you build momentum?
How do you do it?
Asking for a friend. Question 2 for you. What I'd like you to do is I'd like you to name this game. if you could. What
Okay.
I'll do, I'll read you the score line. I'll read you the final score.
Okay.
Okay, so Team A,
Yeah.
3 for 156.
Okay.
Team B, 155 all out.
3 for 156, 155 all out. The scoreline suggests it's probably a 2020. Either that or... Ooh. Is this something that we've played in, potentially? 3 for...
I'm not saying anything.
Sounds like a... Oof. What? The scores are so close. 3 for... Could that be...
It is.
Is it?
It is that game. It is that game. It is. So for those watching on YouTube, it's the famous 2011, 2012 under-17 twos grand final.
3 for. So were we? Did we make?
So we batted first. We made 3 for.
Yeah.
And then we rolled them for 155 on the last ball, as we've mentioned. Now the reason I bring this up, we're talking momentum. We're talking.
Did we get them all out?
We got them all. You got the last wicket on the last ball.
I don't know. It was all out.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
The reason I bring this up is because Team B,
Yeah.
or Berwick, as we played them,
Yeah.
they were none for 70.
So one of the blokes retired, didn't he?
The opener retired and came back in, and he was at the non-strikers end for the last ball. But they were none for 70, chasing, 156. Well,
Jeez.
157 to win. And they were 155 all out. Now, there's a bloke there we haven't mentioned, and to be honest, I kind of forgot he existed. He was one of the blokes who filled in for us, Madura.
Yeah.
He took 2 for. He came on and bowled, and he went for 2 and over, I think.
Yeah.
And just couldn't score. They just couldn't score off him, and he got reaped the rewards. He took 2 for, which probably was the momentum change, and then you took 3 for as well. Obviously, the famous last ball wicket.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was that game.
Jeez.
Yep.
There you go.
Because I thought about we're talking momentum. I was looking at the episode plan. I'm like, I've got to see if I can squeeze this in because they were none for 70.
That's insane. Wow.
There you go.
That answers your previous question. How do you build momentum? You get Madura to fill in for a week, and
shout out
to Madura, and also you wait for one of the batters on the other team to retire, and then you go for the kill. That's how you do it.
We did that with Burnsy against Cranbourne the other week. Alrighty, bit of a different switch on question. Set of switch on questions from me. What have you got for me?
I've switched up everything for on my end as well. I'm going more direct questions.
Have you gone trivia?
I've gone trivia.
Oh, we didn't even discuss this.
We didn't.
We didn't.
It's almost like we've switched.
Like we've been here before. We've switched on.
We've switched. Yeah. It's like I'm you and you're me.
Is that your community reference?
It's. Have you got a DVD of Freaky Friday by any chance?
I wish I could be with you for just one day. I can't remember what it was.
Wait. Routine light. Was that what routine lights?
You're a fucking idiot. Oh no, that's the best thing you've ever done. That's so funny. All right, hit me with your questions, mate.
Oh yeah, true. Sorry, trivia questions. So.
So good.
Question 1. What is the greatest first innings deficit for a side that went on to win a test? And which side made the comeback? Oh, sorry.
Have I got multiple choice?
Yeah,
oh,
sorry.
I was just thinking.
No, I don't know why. I'm not used to giving trivia questions. Okay.
It shows.
Is it A, 327, B, 292, C, 274, or D, 408?
So you want the total and the team?
Correct. Yeah, the biggest deficit, first innings, and then, who made the comeback?
Okay. I have no idea.
Yep.
I reckon the first one we mentioned, that was the Kolkata test, wasn't it? That was 274.
Correct.
And that was C.
That was C.
So I reckon that's a double bluff.
Oh.
I'm brave enough to pick C. I reckon it's 274.
Okay. All right. It's wrong. Double bluffed ya. Double bluffed ya? I don't know. It was B. 292.
292. Who was it?
Australia.
Against?
Sri Lanka.
Oh.
Yeah.
How long ago was that?
I think it was in the 90s. I think it was 1992 from memory.
Right, okay.
Yeah. Going back a while, but yeah, 292, which was pretty close to 274, but both in the same ballpark.
Yeah, what? 327, 292, 274, 408. There's some good options there.
Yeah.
Because it's yeah. No, I like it.
Question 2. Michael Bevan is a legendary name within ODI cricket, and he was responsible for many Aussie comebacks throughout his career.
Absolutely.
From the mid-90s to the mid-2000s. What was his ODI career batting average? Was it A, I just think, yeah, one-day player.
Mm-hmm.
A, 53.58. B, 44.64. C, 48.81. Or D, 63.
So what, 53 point something?
Yep.
40 point something?
44 point
44,
something.
48 point something?
Yep.
Or 63?
Yep. Considered one of the, well, probably the best Australia's one-day cricketers of all time.
One of the best closers of all time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. I don't reckon it's 44. I reckon it's higher than 44. I'm tossing up between. I don't think it's as high as 60. With no disrespect there, because it bloody well could be.
Yeah.
I'm tossing up between 48 and 53.
Yep.
And I hate that C is still one of these options. Am I brave enough to pick C?
For a second time.
What I'm going to do is I'm not going to pick C,
Okay.
but I'm going to do it to nice Michael Bevan.
Okay.
I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt, saying
Yes.
the average is 53,
Yep.
not 48.
Yes. Spot on.
Did I get it?
53.58.
Oh my god! Oh my god! How good is getting trivia questions right? You wouldn't know.
I wouldn't know. He is. He's still fifth in terms of in the all-time list of highest ODI batting averages
For any country.
Yeah.
What a man!
53.58. Yeah.
Incredible career.
A couple of other cricketers ahead of it. I think Kohli's still ahead. Babar Azam is ahead currently. But still, phenomenal record from a legend of Australian cricket.
Absolutely. Probably one that arguably flies under the radar a bit.
Yeah.
Every now and then.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm glad that we brought him up because it is, about comebacks and everything, and there was no one more that you'd wanted in a Aussie one-day side to initiate a comeback. You're just like, he's at the crease, comeback's on.
Just been personally responsible for so many. So yeah, absolutely fitting that he got a mention in this week.
Time for My Mate's Multi?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Money! Money!
Alrighty, time for My Mate's Multi. So, my legs last week, I said, I doubled down on my leg from the previous week. I said Nivedhan Radhakrishnan would take a wicket with both bowling arms in the next Australia game.
Did he take a wicket?
Once again, he didn't play because he had COVID.
He had COVID.
He had COVID.
Fuck. So for those who might have forgotten, you had that in your leg a couple of weeks ago.
Correct.
And you've gone again because he didn't play.
Yes.
And now he hasn't played again.
That's correct. He's back in the side. He's recovered now, but he did have. Oh, we don't want to talk about that, but yeah.
We don't. That's a rough no.
What?
That leg.
Oh yeah, that's a universe against you sort of no, isn't it? Anyway, none from one. Leg two. I said Elise Perry to have a strike rate of between 60 and 80 during her first innings of the Ashes Test. Nope, didn't happen. She made 18, striking about 50 odd. So
I think you would have got it if you said the second innings. I think
no. I checked both just
Did
in
you?
case.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
But no, nope, didn't happen.
Bugger.
None from two.
No.
Leg three. I said at least one batter will be dismissed hit wicket throughout the course of the final two BBL games. Didn't happen.
That's a pretty
That was ambitious.
Yeah.
It was. It was more just you can have fun every now and then. So.
Oh, we do love a laugh. We bloody love a laugh on this show. We have fun.
So none from three. That's
none
under par, less than par. Hey, do you want to? We haven't gone to driving range in a while.
We should do that.
Yeah,
we should post the difference in the drives as well. Put that on the Instagram.
You got the videos, yeah?
I might have the videos. Popped up in my memories the other day, so might have to just exploit the difference a little bit there. All right, my legs from last week.
Yep.
So I said that the most runs in the BBL final will be scored by a left-hander.
Yes.
This didn't get up. Was it Laurie Evans? Or made that name up?
Didn't Turner make more? Oh, no, Laurie Evans did.
He made 76,
right.
I think.
That's right.
I think Turner made 50 odd, but
yeah, you're right. Yeah.
And he is right-handed.
Yes.
So that's a no. Sorry in advance about this one. I said the West Indies will concede more than 354 runs against India in their first ODI on Sunday. That Sunday hasn't come around yet.
That's coming this Sunday.
I got the weeks wrong on it. So that hasn't happened yet.
Hey, you can just recycle your...
spoiler alert, my friend.
Okay,
spoiler alert.
Just do what I do, every week.
And as a follow-on from leg two, I said for leg three that Virat Kohli will have not scored a century between now and our next episode. And of course, he hasn't played. So that got up. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, true.
1 for 3. 1 for 3 again.
That's the one that gets out. Oh, jeez. That was...
So I've shit-assed my way to a 1 for.
That's potentially the worst that we've collectively done.
And it's a stinky leg that got up to.
Yeah. If that was the only one that got... That's it. Pretty...
It's tough because there's not as much cricket happening at the moment.
Yeah.
So we found we're searching around for some legs a bit more than we usually would. But let's hear yours for this week.
Okay. All right. So leg one, the winner of the Under-19s World Cup will have more players starting with the letter A than the team that they beat in the final. What?
That's a stinky leg.
What's wrong with that? It's niche.
It is, you're right. Wait, so first name or last name or both?
First name.
First name. All right. Okay.
Yeah. So I think who's left in there's Afghanistan, England, Australia, and India.
India. Yep.
So out of those teams, yep. Leg two. Alana King to have an economy rate of between 3.5 and 4 during the first ODI.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
She's bowling pretty well in that ODI then.
Yeah.
That's a pretty handy economy rate.
Yeah. I did have that as a bit higher, but I thought, let's get a bit more.
You're joking. Should have been higher.
Leg three. There will be at least 9 different news articles with the name Justin Langer in the title between now and next week.
Oh, that's a good one. Why? Why is he under fire?
I'm not sure.
Anyway.
But just.
So in the title?
Yes, somewhere in the title.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
The name has to be, yeah. And I feel like that's a good chance of getting up because so many news articles sort of recycle like previous news articles, and you'll have the name in both. So I feel like that's almost the safest leg I reckon.
Look, you started off a bit rocky, but I quite like that multi. I quite like it. All right, should I get into mine?
Yes.
So, I might have just mentioned not as much cricket going around as there was the start of the season.
Yeah.
So, with that in mind, we will see a bombshell NBA trade before our next episode.
Wowee.
The NBA trade deadline is the 10th of Feb, I believe.
Yep.
So, I think it'll be slightly after our next episode, but I reckon we'll see it before.
Before the next episode.
Before the next episode, we're going to
Okay.
see a bombshell trade.
Okay. They're not going to wait until the last day.
No.
Nah, okay. All right.
Alrighty. Brace yourself for this.
Okay.
Leg 2.
Yeah.
The West Indies will concede more than 354 runs against India in their first ODI on Sunday.
I feel like I've been here before.
And I've double checked, and that is this Sunday. So I've got the Sundays right. So I'm
Done.
giving myself a half mark there for that.
Nice. Good job.
And then leg 3.
Yep.
Virat Kohli will have not scored a century between now and our last episode. I felt bad, so I'll put it in there.
Because he's actually going to play cricket.
He's actually going to play cricket.
Yeah. So it makes it more. Yep.
I genuinely didn't realise I got the dates wrong. It's actually really stupid. It's actually really, really stupid. But there we go.
It makes for a laugh, though. It's funny.
Yeah, well, you're right. Considering how shite our legs were last week,
Yeah.
the only way's up now. The only way is up for these ones.
I reckon, yeah, we've definitely improved on last week. But let's wait and see how many of them actually get up.
Time will tell. Alrighty, episode 30 in the books. Just in case you'd forgotten, mate, it's been a while since I've told you. You're looking fucking dapper in the kit.
As are you, mate?
Up the fucking
As are
pels.
you. What do you reckon? Should I go the long sleeve or short sleeve?
Did you get both as well?
I think so. I can't remember now.
I don't know.
You know, I used to always wear I used to wear like a long sleeve t-shirt underneath.
Oh, yeah,
shirt,
true.
And I'd put the whites on top, so I'd like sleeves sort of thing.
See, I've done that, but with the skins as well. So it's not been as. I mean, it's not really loose, but it's usually maybe.
Yeah, but that was just for the look. I was like, oh, it looks cool.
Oh yeah, way back when. Under 13s, gangster Ashwin,
That's it, mate. That's it.
not making 26.
Still bowling with sunnies on.
I've started doing that now.
Have ya?
Yeah, when when it's super clear days and there's not gonna be any cloud.
Yeah.
Because when I wear my sunnies, I have to commit to them for the entire innings.
Yeah.
So yeah, when it's super clear, chuck them on. This is really riveting stuff.
No cricket on this weekend.
No, we got no cricket. We got to buy. So maybe I should have put that in the multi. No pels will get out this week.
That would have been not an improvement from last week's multi.
Yeah,
so.
it's pretty average. The power of hindsight. But I mean, I guess we'll just leave now.
Yeah, that's okay.
Thanks for listening. YouTube things,
Mm.
Spotify and Apple Podcast things. you know.
TikTok.
Yep.
where
There's
it's at.
stuff posted on there again. Bye.
Keep taking wickets and hitting sixes.
Bye.